In the fascinating world of English grammar, verbs are the stars. They paint pictures of actions, events, and states of being. Today, we're time traveling to the past, focusing on regular verbs that form their past tense with a simple but powerful suffix ed. Imagine wanting to tell someone about something exciting you did yesterday. Maybe you baked a cake, played a game, or watched a movie. How would you express these actions in the past? That's where our friend comes in. By adding ed to the base form of most verbs, we effortlessly shift our language to talk about actions that have already happened. Think of ed as a magic wand that transforms verbs to indicate past actions. So whether you're sharing stories, writing essays, or simply chatting with friends, understanding how to use ed to form the past tense is essential.
Section 2. The ed symphony sounds of the past. Adding ed to a verb might seem simple enough, but did you know that this little suffix can actually be pronounced in 3 different ways? When ed follows a verb ending in a t or d sound, it's pronounced as a separate syllable, like id. For instance, want becomes wanted, wanted, and attend transforms into attended, attended. If the verb ends in a voiceless sound like p, kf, s, cheech, or she, then ed takes on a soft t sound. Think of words like helped, helped, looked, looked, or laughed, laughed. Finally, for verbs ending in any other sound, ed is pronounced as a d sound. Examples include played, played, learned, learned, and opened, opened. Mastering these subtle pronunciation variations might seem like a small detail, but it can make a big difference in how natural and confident your spoken English sounds. So pay attention to the ending sounds of verbs and practice pronouncing the ed endings correctly. You'll be amazed at how quickly these rules become second nature to you.
Section 3. Regular verbs, predictable time travelers. Regular verbs are like reliable friends who always follow the rules. When it comes to forming the past tense, they stick to the script and simply add ed to their base form. Think of verbs like walk, talk, jump, or cook. These are all regular verbs that effortlessly transform into their past tense forms by adding ed. Walked, talked, jumped, and cooked. This predictability is especially helpful when you're learning new verbs. If you come across a verb you haven't encountered before and it follows the regular ed pattern, you can be confident in using its past tense form correctly. No need to memorize irregular forms or special rules, just add ed and you're good to go. We'll talk about irregular verbs later, but for now let's appreciate the simplicity and consistency of regular verbs. They provide a solid foundation for understanding past tense formation and allow you to express past actions with ease and accuracy.
Section 4. Practice makes perfect, the case of the talking animals. Ready to test your ed skills? Let's dive into a fun exercise. Imagine you're listening to animal friends chatting about their day yesterday. Fill in the blanks with the correct past tense forms of the verbs in parentheses. The lion roar loudly, scaring all the monkeys. The monkeys climb up the tallest tree in a flash. The cheetah chase after a gazelle, but the gazelle was too fast. The elephants splash in the waterhole, cooling off from the hot sun. A flock of birds fly overhead, singing a cheerful melody. Let's check your answers. The lion roared loudly, scaring all the monkeys. The monkeys climbed up the tallest tree in a flash. The cheetah chased after a gazelle, but the gazelle was too fast. The elephants splashed in the waterhole, cooling off from the hot sun. A flock of birds flew overhead, singing a cheerful melody. Using the past tense makes the story come alive. It's like watching a movie unfold in your mind.
Section 5. EDing it up, transforming sentences. Let's practice transforming sentences into the past tense. Take the sentence, the children play in the park. Change play to played. The sentence becomes, the children played in the park. Try these. 1. The dog barks at the mailman. 2. She dances gracefully on stage. 3. They watch a movie together. 4. He cooks a delicious meal. 5. The sun shines brightly. Transform each sentence into the past tense. Practice makes perfect.
Section 6. Tripping over irregulars, a gentle reminder. As we navigate the world of past tense verbs, it's important to remember that not all verbs follow the regular ed pattern. English grammar, known for its quirks, throws in a few curveballs with irregular verbs. These verbs have their own unique past tense forms that don't follow any predictable rules and need to be learned individually, while regular verbs like walk transform neatly into walked Irregular verbs like go take on a completely different form in the past tense. Went. There's no ed to be found here. Other common irregular verbs include see, saw, eat, ate, and do, did. The key to mastering irregular verbs is practice and exposure. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Create flashcards, use them in sentences, and practice with a friend. The more you encounter these verbs in different contexts, the more confident you'll become in using them correctly.
Section 7. Mastering the past tense. Tips and tricks. Mastering the past tense, like any aspect of language learning, requires practice, patience, and a few helpful strategies. Here are some tips and tricks to make your journey smoother and more enjoyable. 1. Embrace the power of context. Pay attention to how past tense verbs are used in books, movies, and conversations. The more you encounter them in natural settings, the easier it will be to understand their usage and apply them correctly in your own communication. 2. Make it personal. Instead of just memorizing verb forms, try using them to talk about your own experiences. Share stories about your day, recount past events, or write journal entries in the past tense. This will make the learning process more engaging and relevant to your life. 3. Find a practice buddy. Everything is more fun with a friend. Team up with a language partner and practice using past tense verbs together. You can have conversations, tell each other stories, or even create your own quizzes and games. 4. Don't fear mistakes. Mistakes are an essential part of the learning process. Embrace them as opportunities to learn and grow.
Section 8. Celebrating your grammar prowess. As you delve deeper into the nuances of past tense verbs, take a moment to acknowledge and celebrate your progress. Every correctly conjugated verb, every well-crafted sentence in the past tense, is a testament to your dedication and hard work. Learning a language is an ongoing journey, and recognizing your achievements along the way can be incredibly motivating. Remember that feeling of accomplishment when you first understood the difference between present and past tense? Or that aha moment when irregular verbs finally started to make sense? These milestones, big and small, deserve to be celebrated. They are proof that you are expanding your linguistic horizons and becoming a more confident and articulate communicator. So don't be afraid to pat yourself on the back for your grammar victories. Treat yourself to something you enjoy, share your progress with a friend or teacher, or simply take a moment to reflect on how far you've come.
Section 9. Conclusion. ED venture continues. Congratulations on embarking on this exciting ED venture into the world of past tense verbs. Armed with this newfound knowledge, you're well on your way to mastering the art of talking about the past. Remember, the key to fluency and confidence is practice. The more you use past tense verbs in your writing, speaking, and even your thoughts, the more natural and effortless they will become. So, keep exploring, keep experimenting, and most importantly, keep having fun with the English language. Now go forth and conquer the past tense with confidence. Your ED venture awaits.